Barbarian is a unique, claustrophobic, utterly shocking, and completely surprising horror film. The structure is brilliant. The spooks and the scares and the monstrous things that happen in the film are truly monstrous and utterly horrific and just kind of captivating in the worst way possible. In the way you look at it and you're like, I want to stop looking at it, but I can't look away. It's the type of film I wish I could see more of. It's not cliche, it's not generic, it is so unique and different and just kind of like bold and crazy, and it's doing kind of wild things. Like it does one thing and then 5 minutes later it's like, how about this thing? And you're like, how does that thing fit with this thing? And it just combines them all in this really brilliant way. Like it's doing so many different things, but it doesn't feel kind of like incoherent and messy and confused, like it doesn't know what it's trying to say. Like the themes and ideas of the film are all like so well gelled together. It's this crazy monstrosity of a film that is also a monstrous film with just some truly upsetting things. Like, oh my god, if you want to go to a cinema and just be like, nope, this film's for you. It so cleverly uses horror tropes and cliches and all those kind of things and kind of subverts your expectations in really interesting ways and goes in ways that you could never possibly expect. Like, it's a film where if you haven't seen the trailer, if you haven't seen any promotional materials, don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. Maybe watch the first 15 seconds of the trailer, because like that first act, it sets you up with like, okay, I know the basic idea. But I mean, honestly, just don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. Just go watch this film and be mesmerized by the insanity. I loved Act 1 and Act 2 of this film so much, I can't describe it. Like, it was such a brilliant experience in the cinema, like especially because of like its use of like darkness. Like there are some really claustrophobic, horrible, dark moments. It's really, really great to see in a big cinema. Like even at home, I feel like sometimes, just having your phone there and things like that, there are ways to kind of escape the kind of horrific darkness. Whereas in a cinema, unless you're one of those people with your phones out, shame on you. You know what? Actually, you can do what you want. I'm not going to shame anyone, but actually I will. I'm shame on you. That being said, I didn't like the third act. To the point where I'm like, I don't know if I like this movie at all. Like I do. Like I love this movie. I wish Hollywood would make more horror films like this. Like it's so not generic and cliche. Like it's just so not the type of horror film you'd expect to ever see, or just any film you'd expect to see. Like it's so wild and different and unexpected. So like I have to like give like the director and like the writer and all the people who made the film or whatever credit. Like I don't want to like say it's a bad movie, but the third act I feel like lets down what I enjoyed so much about the first two acts, even though it's kind of, it's not going so far off. Like it is based off the things that we've seen previously. But I did leave the cinema like that first, like the very last scene. I just was like, what? Like, what? Like I got up and I looked at the other three people, the other three patrons in the cinema. Empty cinema. It was a weird time to see a horror film. But I looked at them all and I'm like, what the hell was that? That was pretty bad. And they all told me to shut up and sit down. It wasn't the first time in the movie. So despite all the praise I've given this film, I don't know if I like it. It's a weird feeling. It's a really weird feeling because I appreciate and I understand what the film is doing. And I love how crazy and how different. Like it's so unique and so wild and so imaginative and so horrific at times. But the third act has so many moments where I just feel like it completely drops the ball, makes some really odd choices. It leaves things where I'm like asking questions about, wait, but what about this? And then suddenly I'm not following the film anymore. And then there are 3 or 4 moments right at the end in that last kind of final act. Bam, 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 here we go, showdown time. It's the cinematic moment. Like in a Marvel movie, it would be the big CGI, shooty laser fest where you're like, oh, I love so much of this movie. Oh, CGI laser fest. Okay, and you leave it feeling underwhelmed and kind of disappointed, even though I had so much fun for like 80% of the runtime. It's really weird. That being said, I 100% recommend go checking out Barbarian. If you live in any other country apart from Australia, you're like, yeah, I saw it 2 months ago. It came out a long time ago. Why are you just reviewing it now? It only came out yesterday. I don't know what's wrong with Australia. We get Halloween Ends 2 days early, and yet I can't seem to get Barbarian for 3 months or some shit. I keep changing the months. It was a while ago. I saw a review a very long time ago. Chris Stuckman did a review for the movie The Menu like a month ago. That film comes out in like another 2 months here in Australia. I don't know why cinema hates Australia. It makes me angry. But yeah, so go check it out and be like, Oh my god. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. It's a crazy film. Go check it out. I'm so curious what people think, because the response has been like so overwhelmingly positive, and I understand to a certain point, but then there's a point where I'm like, I am so surprised this film isn't like at a 50%, like just very mixed, because for me it's like perfect and then kind of awful, and it just... But it is a cinematic experience unlike any other. So I guess that's why people are really gravitating towards it, which is interesting and exciting. Like, I would prefer a film like this than, I don't know, insert generic horror film here.